Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's AMA. Thanks for joining us. We have some interesting things to talk about. As you've seen, we've been pretty busy over the past few days. We've got more things to discuss with you. Progress is going well, and we'll dive right into it. And I'll welcome Herman, our CEO, to discuss some of the strategic and core development efforts and progress of the past few days. Are you there, Herman?
Yes, I am. So thanks, Owen. Welcome, everybody. I'll suspend, as I did last time, any greater update. We've been dialoguing with investors, partners, community members over the past several weeks to define a strategy. I'll just defer to previous AMAs detailing that. A thorough write-up about the decisions and outcomes decided will be out soon. The reason it hasn't been yet published is just final decisions being made and so forth. But you can expect that quite soon in the form of a investor letter or blog. More immediate matters. The EVM parachain on testnet is, for all intents and purposes, ready for the bug bounty. We've developed an indexer and relative explorer to view these transactions on the parachain testnet, on the testnet parachain rather, as you perform them as non-technical users, as well as we've composed documentation and instructions for even non-technical users, again, to interface with this product that, again, we hope to, it has been out for several weeks. We hope to get in the hands of even non-technical users with these tools tomorrow. And once tested, we hope to deploy it on mainnet in a short order. I'm guessing the order of weeks, but once again, I'm being optimistic, and if anything, if things go as planned. Of course, we expect perhaps issues, but issues are good, because if we identify them on testnet, it means that we can fix them, and they don't compromise the successful deployment of this product, of the EVM parachain on mainnet. That's it for me. This week's AMA is quite interesting. We will be interviewing a partner of ours, a new validator, and I'll let Owen pick it up from there. Thank you.
Thanks a million, Herman. Good to hear, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of that tooling be released so that people can kind of have a go at it and see what it's about. As Herman mentioned, in a few minutes, we're going to bring in one of the founders of 32 Ventures, who are one of our new partners, chiefly in the respect of validation. They are one of the two new validator partners that have come on board recently. We will be discussing some things with them, and John is going to mute the chat in a few minutes when I give him the word, and we will. I've received and they've received some questions, so I think I've got about 6 or 7 questions for them. In the meantime, while I'm giving my update, if you have any questions for them as well, post them in the chat now, and when the chat is muted, then I'll forward those to the guys, and if they can answer, then all the better. If they can't answer at the moment, I know that Escobar is at the moment a little bit busy with other calls and stuff. He's very gracious to have given us his time. But if anything else comes up, or if you have any other questions, then this is a very active community member, so they'll be able to answer other questions in due time. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and give my update, which should be on your screens right now, actually. As Herman discussed, we have been making nice progress. You've started to see the ramp up of partnership announcement, the ramp up of increased communications. We have been doing increasing our level of cooperation and discussion with our major partners in the background over the past few weeks already. And forthcoming is, as Herman said, a more elaborate discussion of the very high level strategic goals that we are currently setting for the project. So, as I mentioned, the newsletter is out. I think that got good response from the community. They like to see what's going on and they like to see the recap of what's been achieved recently. I'm going to publish certain aspects of the investor letters we send out are quite, somewhat confidential because we discuss specific partners and things like that, and it's not very good from a corporate communications perspective to then divulge that publicly. But I will be sharing some of the details of that letter just so you get an insight into where our discussions with these partners is going. The validator, as I mentioned, is joining today to answer some questions. And that's actually going to be something that we're going to try and keep the momentum with over the next few weeks, in that we'll have partners at the end of our AMAs. We will have partners come on board to answer some questions for you guys, because I know that the importance of Cherry's business development is well appreciated by the community, and we want to keep that going. As I said, the strategy post will be out shortly, hopefully this week, and tomorrow at 2 p.m. UTC, I have set the deadline for the merch store to go up. As I mentioned before, I wanted things to get rolling with the business development before the merch store came out, because I think that's important from a community that we focus on the progress as opposed to just the celebration thereof. To log the progress first, and then we can celebrate by, having a look at the merch and stuff like that. But I didn't want that coming out because I don't think it's quite important, and I wanted to make sure that the community knew that, selling you guys this cool clothing that's not our main priority. That the business and technical progress of Cherry is our number one priority and always is. So now is a good time to push that out. So that'll be happening at about 2 p.m. So you're going to have to bear with me because we just have to establish some of the situation with regards to how to run this AMA, because it's a while since we've done a written AMA. So just bear with me now. I'm going to ask John for my help. Here we go. Okay, so in just a moment, the chat will be muted so that we can all read that as it happens. John, if you wouldn't mind muting the chat there now, actually, with the exception of the admins, which is standard, and also Escobar, who is joining us now in just a moment. Okay, I'm just going to write in the chat. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, that's the green light. So I'm going to ask, first of all, I'm going to just welcome you. Okay, first question. What was the single most important aspect of Cherry that made you decide to join as a partner? Okay, it seems that there's a small issue with the with his permission, so just bear with me now. Okay, we're having some technical difficulties here. You'll have to bear with me. I'll get this resolved in 2 minutes. Permissions. An exception. We will go to give me 1 second. Okay, as a solution, we're going to add a new moderator to the chat, which is the good Escobar. Okay, you should be able to talk now. Okay, cool. He said the most important aspect for us is Cherry's idea of storage, decentralization, and the team's experience in previous projects. I think that's a fair point. We do have a lot of background in that, especially the founders themselves have been involved in a lot of very successful and many successful projects themselves. So that's quite cool. Yeah, that's a fair point. I'm just going to jump in. So the next question is, apart from your tech and management experience, what assets and skills do you think you bring to the Cherry team? That'll be my next question. So hold on there. And he said we can provide tools to facilitate the installation, management of new validators, and even technical assistance if someone has a problem. We're a team of several professionals in the world of validators. On the financial side, we're investors in other projects and have many connections with well-known crypto project teams. We ourselves have invested in Cherry before entering as validators. That's pretty cool. These echo some of the things that the guys have said in a recent blog post that we put out about validators. But it's good to get extra insight from the guys. Escobar is a very active community member as well. He believes in the project, and as you can see from what he's saying, he's a very knowledgeable guy on this topic specifically. We're very lucky to have such professional and just reputable partners. To be honest, I think your partners often make or break a project, so it's really good that these guys are able to really bring that skill set to the fore with us. So the next question will be: do you have any framework or protocol for how to make decisions regarding the future of the network? in your role as a validator? Do you have much experience in this regard? Okay. We internally check with our team to find a consensus about the better direction of the project, and we follow that agreed direction both for the project future and for a rollout. Yeah, that's fair enough. Pretty straightforward answer. Understandable. So I'll move on to question 4. This is a more general one that 2 people asked me to ask to the validators, and they sent me DMs about this. And it was a very simple question that a lot of people ask about as well. One of our community members, Kush, mentioned this earlier. What direction would you like Cherry to focus on? Very straightforward. Okay. The main focus is to continue with the development and weekly status updates on Cherry. We believe that with good communication and transparency, there will be a brilliant future. We know the current state of the market is in very bad shape, but having as current priority the development to get everything ready will be key to success during the next bull run. Yeah, and just worth mentioning that we do echo these sentiments. This is why we have, when we're in these AMAs and we're talking about the strategic direction of the project, that isn't something that we just made up, for something to say. These are things that we establish with partners, with other people who are very experienced and well seasoned in the Web3 industry. And we choose our words carefully. And I think that what Escobar says there is pretty much what we have kind of alluded to or explicitly stated previously ourselves. The next question is very similar. So you might want to skip because you've kind of already answered it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What activities would you like to see Cherry do more of? Okay. Escobar said, as a personal opinion, we would like to see more activity on Twitter, some more pictures of how the developments are going. There are many investors who appreciate this kind of documentation. Okay, it's a fair point, and we actually have been kind of putting together our tweet agenda for the next, let's say, 4 weeks. So that's actually a pretty coincidental thing to say, because I think from tomorrow we have a lot of tweets and activity in general on social media planned for the next few weeks, and we're going to keep ramping that up now that the project's in a position where we really want to push this out to as many people as possible, thanks to, and that is dependent on all of the great progress from the devs themselves. And then I had another question, just personally. I always like to ask people who are experienced and well versed in the ins and outs of the Web3 industry. It's just it's very simple. Where do you see the Web3 market being in 12 months? Would be my question there. Okay. And Escobar said that the Web3 market will be more solid and many more projects / companies will migrate to Web3. Also, the market at the time will be much better and we'll be able to enjoy the benefits. I absolutely like to hear that, and I hope you're right. I think that it will kind of take a lot of pressure off a lot of people and lift the spirits of everyone in the industry, whether they're Web3 professionals or big investors or retail investors. It doesn't matter. I think that we all deserve, after our hard work and loyalty over the past couple of years, we deserve a bit of a pump in the market. So I'm really hoping to see that over the next 12 months as well. I'm very optimistic. And as Escobar mentioned, Jerry is and will continue to be, and will increasingly continue to be, in the perfect position to take advantage of that. For people who don't remember or who maybe weren't around during previous bull runs, the sheer electricity and energy in the industry just like really takes off, and business and new solutions and new use cases just start to explode. So if you look at what's going on with AI at the moment, that's kind of where we want to get back to with Web3. Looking forward to it, and hopefully it gets here sooner rather than later. But again, thank you very much for your insights and wisdom and for your support to the project, Escobar. We're delighted that you were able to take your time out of your busy day today to join us here. So I'm just going to write that to get that in writing. And for your support of the project. Now, for you guys, the next order of business is we were delayed with giving out the quiz prizes. We've been very busy over the past few days. I'm going to get that sorted this week. A lot of people going back a few weeks that need to get paid. That's fair. We want to get that sorted as quickly as possible for you. I'll be reaching out to you guys in the next couple of days just to make sure, just to see if you've been paid by someone else or whatever, and then we'll get that done. On that note, it's this week's quiz is coming up. John has put some effort into making the new prizes, making the new questions. I'm going to leave you with him, and I'll be in touch later on with the AMA recap, etc. So thank you all for joining us. I think it was a pretty productive and interesting AMA session this time. I'll talk to you guys over the next couple of days. We're going to have some other conversations with you and chats and potentially AMAs as well over the next couple of days too. And I'll keep you briefed on all the other developments in the project as and even potentially before they become public. So cheers, guys. John's going to take over now. Have a nice day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Cheers.